guys, programming time here. So today we're going to be learning about variables and simple data types. So first of all, what are variables? What do variables actually mean? So variables are often described as boxes that you can store values in. And this idea can be helpful at first when you start programming, but it isn't really accurate to describe how variables are represented internally in Python, because it's much better to think of variables as labels that you can assign to values. So that's what variables really are. So they're like labels or boxes that you could add value in. So for instance, let's make a variable called message, and then equal sign. That means you have stored your variable, and then equals, let's say, hello world. After that, if you run your program right now, nothing's gonna happen because you didn't actually print your variable. So you have to print it. So to print your variable, you just say print and then parentheses message, your variable, or the name of your variable, and that's basically it. If we run it, this would happen. It would print hello world because the value of message is hello world. That's what a variable is. And there's a couple of rules in variables that you have to keep in mind. So the rules are that variable names can contain only letters, numbers, and underscores. They can start with a letter or underscore, but not with a number. So you can't start a variable with a number. For instance, you can call a variable message underscore 1, but not 1 underscore message. That won't work. And then rule number 2, spaces are not allowed in variable names, but underscores can be used to separate words in variable names. For example, greeting underscore message works, but greeting space message will cause errors. Rule number 3, avoid using Python keywords and function names as variable names. That is, do not use words that Python has reserved for a particular programmable purpose, such as the word print. So if there's actually a built-in function, don't use it as a variable, or if there's like a function that you made or you defined, so don't use that as a variable. And rule number 4, variable names should be short but descriptive. For example, name is better than n. Student underscore name is better than s underscore n, and name underscore length is better than length underscore of underscore person's underscore name. Rule number 5, be careful when using the lowercase letter L and the uppercase letter O, because they could be confused with the numbers 1 and 0. So when you actually go back to them, you'll get confused between 1 and 0, alright? So those are the most important rules. So now we're going to be talking about simple data types. So the first data type that I'm going to be talking about is strings. And basically what a string is a series of characters. Anything inside quotes is considered a string in Python. And you can use single or double quotes around your strings. This is a string. Right there, that's a string. Now I'm going to show you guys how to change the case in a string with methods. So like uppercase with lowercase. And there's like this trick that you could do. There's this trick that you could do, and it's like if your variable's value is all in lowercase, you could change it into a title, so like the important things are going to get capitalized. So let's try that. So basically what you could do now, instead of just print message that would print hello world, you can write print sorry, print your variable message dot title, and then after you run your code, you'll get this: hello world capitalized. So the important things are capitalized. So there's this other method that you can do. So I'm gonna show you guys all of them. So you could also do print message dot upper, and that would uppercase everything. And there's also this other thing that you could do, and it's print, I'm sorry about that again, print message dot lower, and then after we run our code, this is what's gonna be happening. So on the first output, it's gonna put like the H is capitalized and the W is capitalized because now you could use it as a title, and the important things are gonna get capitalized. And on the second output, all of the letters are capitalized, and on the third output, all of the letters are lowercase. So yeah, about integers. An integer is another simple data type in Python, and basically what an integer is, and it's just a number without a decimal point. So whatever number without a decimal point is called an integer. So for instance, -1 is also an integer, and 1 is an integer, and 5 is an integer, and 5 million is an integer. So basically any number without a decimal is an integer. So in Python you can use Python as a calculator because it's really easy to use. So for instance, you can print right here, you can print two plus 1, and Python will automatically print 3 because Python is just like a calculator. And here's the output, 3. So whatever you want to calculate, you can just print and then calculate whatever you want. And basically that's it. That's what integers are. So now we're going to be talking about floats, and floats are the exact opposite of integers. Python calls any number with a decimal point a float, and basically whatever number with a decimal point is called a float. Unlike integers are the exact opposite. Whatever number without a decimal is an integer. So yeah, so like when you divide in Python, you'll always get a float. So let's try that. So let's run our code. See, that's a float. So we got 2. So we got 2.0. So that's a float. So basically that's what a float is. And at the end of this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and especially subscribe. Bye!